The Grazing BMP is an industry developed, an industry owned program. It's a joint venture between the Queensland Government, Ag Force and Fitzroy Basin. And I'm backing that program. I think it's a good program in that it's owned by industry and developed by industry. So industry has control over it, rather than some of the other programs that are around that are owned by people other than the industry. And that's why I support something like a Grazing BMP. Well, the Grazing BMP is like a benchmarking program where you work through it, and I guess it's like most of these programs, the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it for your business. And then from that program, nobody's individual responses can be seen by anybody other than yourself. It's as secure as a bank website, your information, but the collective information is what is vital. And that can be used then to rebut some of the extreme views that have been thrown at industry from time to time, and we saw that during the ERMP reef process where it was conceded that we were doing a good job with water quality and sediment on the reef, but we didn't have any documentation to prove it. And I've done the Grains BMP, and something that came out of that was the 2,4-D issue and with drift. The Ag Force Grains policy staff were able to put together a report to the APVMA, and don't quote me on the exact figure, but it was something like 84% of farmers were doing the right thing. They were following the label, had their spray rig set up correctly, and the other people had recognised that they probably needed to lift their game, and experts were engaged, and the APVMA saw no need to put further restrictions on the use of 2,4-D, and we haven't heard of any drift issues in recent years. So those are the positives that come out of these type of programs. Yeah, like it's a benchmarking look at your business, and you'll get productivity gains from it because you're looking at where you're at, and which is something we're too busy involved in doing what we do day to day without actually stepping back and spending a day having a look at what we're doing, and it gives us that information that I believe we so desperately need to counteract some of the extreme views that are out there. Well, an industry-owned program is essential because industry own it. We are in control of it, we are in control of our own destiny, and as an industry or a business, that's crucial, I believe. And like any external program may not capture what industry requires and needs, and whereas this program, whether you like the Ag Force or not, they're the ones in industry that have got input, and if you want to have input yourself, well, get yourself onto the BMP program and onto the board and have some input into it. Like it's quite simple really, and I find that's why I'm recommending the program to people.